guys, welcome back to our chakra yoga series. Today's class is going to be centered on the heart chakra, which is represented by the color green. And it relates to the body parts of your heart, your lungs, your chest, anything in this area. It's all about feelings of love and connection, restoration of relationships and unity, forgiveness, acceptance of yourself and others, and compassion and empathy. I don't know, I might have said that already, but all these sweet feelings of love for yourself and others and God. So we are going to have a mantra that we focus on and a scripture reading, depending on what you prefer. So grab your candles, your essential oils, your comfy clothes, and then a bolster if you practice with one, and meet me whenever you're ready. All right, we are going to get started in a cat-cow. So stack your shoulders over your wrists and your hips over your knees. And then for this cat-cow, instead of focusing on moving from your spine, think about moving from your heart. So on the cow pose, you're going to drop your heart, pull it through your shoulders. And then on your cow or cat, you're going to poke the back of your heart, lift it up towards the sky as you round through your upper back. Inhale for cow pose. Exhale for cat pose. Drop the belly, pull your heart through your shoulders, broaden through your collarbones, and lift your head. And then tuck your tailbone under, roll and round to your spine, lift the back of your heart up. See if you can expand, find a feeling of expansion through your heart. And then find a feeling of pulling your heart back into yourself. Let's do one more with your breath. Good. From here, walk your knees back towards the end of the mat. Walk your hands forward and melt your chest down for a puppy pose. So your hips are still stacked above your knees, but your arms are outstretched. You can either rest on your forehead, you can bring a block under your forehead if that's comfortable, or if you're really open, you can start to walk forward even more and literally touch your chest and chin to the mat. Don't lose your breath here. If you want more of a passive puppy, you can find some bend in your elbows and just rest your forearms down. If you want a more active puppy, you can tent up onto your fingertips and wrap the outer armpits, the outer shoulders down. And we'll just spend some time focusing on our mantra for today, which is, I love, accept, and forgive myself and others. So repeat that again a few more times here. I love, accept, and forgive myself and others. And come back to that mantra all throughout the class today as much as you need. Slowly walk your hands forward, bend into your elbows, and lower your pelvis and belly onto the mat for Sphinx pose. From here, energetically pull your elbows and your hands back as you reach your chest forward. Rotate your inner thighs up to the sky. And find the bend happening at your mid-back as opposed to your low back. So our scripture reading from today comes from Matthew chapter 22, verses 37 through 39. Jesus replied, "Love the Lord your God with all your heart, and with all your soul, and with all your mind. This is the first and greatest commandment, and the second is like it. Love your neighbor as yourself." So living in a true state of love doesn't just involve one person. It involves your own self, it involves God, and it involves all those around you. One more deep breath in through your chest and release. So from here, walk your hands underneath your shoulders, tuck your toes underneath you, and then push from tabletop to downward facing dog. So you'll lift your hips high, straighten into your knees a little bit, walk your dog out. And we're gonna come into this bear dog type movement where you're just gonna bend one knee, open the chest to the opposite side, and then swivel around. So bend the left knee, straighten the right leg, chest opens to the right. Just take really lazy movements here. This is a gentle class, so find what feels good. We're not too worried about alignment. You should feel this opening up through your side body, your shoulders, your chest, and also the backs of your hamstrings. You can even, from your bear or down dog, find some little rib circles, which is a really tiny movement, but just helps you open up into your shoulder blades. Engage your core a little more. Go to the opposite direction. From here, send your weight forward into plank and then drop onto your knees. We're going to move into some camel variations. So rise up, stack your hips on top of your knees, and keep your toes tucked underneath you for now. On an inhale, you're gonna lift your arms overhead, poke your hip points forward, and magnetize your heart to the sky. On an exhale, sit your hips back, let your hands rest on your thighs. Inhale, lift up again, cactus your arms out to the side so you're at a 90-degree bend. Expand through the chest. Exhale, sit back and hug your arms towards each other. So you're really rounding through your mid-back. Inhale, lift up, arms raise overhead. Hip points stick forward. Exhale, sit the hips back, let your hands rest on your thighs. Inhale, cactus your arms out to the side. Lift your heart high. And exhale, round as if your heart is going back between your ribs, back between your shoulder blades. And sit on down. One more time with your breath. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, hands on thighs, sit down. Inhale, cactus your arms out to the side. And exhale, palms touch in the center. Good. From here, lift your hips over your knees again and we'll move into camel pose. So instead of just dropping back into it, let's take a little bit of a mindful approach. So with every breath that you lean back, I want you to also lift up. So it's more of a slow process. Hug your inner thighs towards each other. Relax the glutes just a little bit. Start to drop the head back, arch through your spine. Remember to lift your chest up and back. And then whenever you're ready, you can reach the hands back, find your heels, and drop in a camel. Find a bit of release in your glutes again. Nice deep breaths. Make sure you're rounding through your whole spine, not just your low back. 2 more breaths. Good. Sit your hips down. Untuck your spine, roll your head forward, and release. From here, plant your hands in front of you, untuck your toes, and just sit back in a child's pose. Reclaim the ease in your breath. And repeat, I love, accept, and forgive myself and others. Moving from a place of love means in yoga that we don't force our bodies into a posture or a shape that they're not ready for. So just find love in your body, how it is and what it can do. Walk your hands forward, send your knees back for another puppy pose. We're going to move through our camel one more time after this, so if you want to focus more on opening through the shoulders and the upper spine, find what shape works for you. Start to prepare by walking your hands underneath your shoulders, walking your knees up a step, and tucking your toes underneath you. Rise so that your hips are stacked above your knees. And then take several breaths to move into your camel shape again. So imagine you had a big ball behind your back that you're trying to reach up and over. And find gentleness and compassion too. So if you're not feeling camel today, if your body isn't open for it, then don't force it. Start to send those hip points forward as you drop your head back and find your heels. Send breath all through your spine. I felt a crack right between my shoulder blades. So make sure your breath is just moving through your whole body. Send it through the back of your chest. hips down. Release your head, tuck your chin to your chest. In your own time, we're going to move to face the wide edge of our mats. We're coming into Gomukhasana. So stack your right knee on top of your left knee. If you're more open in your hips, you can find parallel shins with flexed ankles. But if you find that this means your right hip lifts, then go ahead and bring your feet closer in towards your body. Just find a more gentle restorative shape. So right knee is stacked on top of left, both hips are grounded. And then you're gonna come into eagle arms as well. So bring your right elbow underneath your left and then intertwine your hands. Once you find your shape on an inhale, lift your elbows high, arch through your spine. Exhale, fold in, touch right elbow to right knee. Inhale, lift your chest again. Expand through your heart. Exhale, release right elbow to right knee. Round through your mid-back. Last time. Now from this position, rise back up, unravel your arms, and then find your bolster if you like to use that. We're going to take a really gentle version, so if you're not super open, just place it on top of your thigh, and then just rest your forehead here. If that feels like too much space, feel free to bring it down to the mat. Just a couple breaths here in Gomukhasana. I'm going to reread our scripture so you can savor that a little bit more. Jesus replied, "Love the Lord your God with all your heart and with all your soul and with all your mind. This is the first and greatest commandment. And the second is like it. Love your neighbor as yourself." So take a moment to recall a time in the past week or month or day, whatever, where you could have treated your neighbor with more love, whether that means your work neighbor or your home neighbor, anyone who you're in contact with that you could show more compassion or generosity to. Or just kindness, just a kind word. Rise your body back up. And then unwrap your right leg, but send it out to the side. We're gonna come into deer pose. So your knee is bent in front of you, the sole of your foot is towards the right thigh, and then curl your right heel in towards your right glute. And then we're gonna find a similar fold. So inhale for length through your spine, and exhale, just drop the body down. See if you can send your breath through your whole body. Feel the back of your ribcage expand, the back of your kidneys, your low back space. Feel your heart getting bigger on an inhale. And then feel it become more gentle and soft on an exhale. Now where could you have found more commitment and love and obedience to your Maker this past week? Where could you have chosen to forgo something else to find full devotion to God? This this life isn't just about serving ourselves, but serving God and serving others as well. Lift your body back up. Take your bolster out to the side and we'll switch legs. So coming into Gomukhasana, place your right leg on the bottom, stack your left knee on top of right. Take whatever shape with your feet and shins that feels good and allows you to move into a stretch but doesn't sacrifice form. Once you find that, go ahead and wrap your left arm underneath your right and then clasp your hands at the center. Stretching through the back of your shoulders, the space between your shoulder blades. On an inhale, lift everything up, arch through your spine, expand through your chest, drop your head back. On an exhale, release, touch left elbow to left knee. 2 more, inhale. And exhale. Inhale. Exhale, drop left elbow to left knee, round to your mid back. Release the twist of your arms, find your bolster, and place it on top of your thighs or on the mat beneath you. Inhale for length through your spine, and exhale, fold gently. Relax your shoulders from your ears. Let your forehead drop heavy. One final breath in this pose. Slowly, lazily walk your hands back up, move your bolster, and then send your left leg back behind you for deer pose. So heels tug in towards glutes. Knees are bent more than 90 degrees. Bring your bolster in front of your right knee. Inhale, lengthen through your spine. And exhale, fold. Where can you melt your chest more? Where can you find more release? You can turn your head to one side on the bolster. As slow as possible, bring your body back up. Then we'll come to the top of our mat again. And from here, find your tabletop pose. And then drop on to your forearms. Just take some gentle rocks of your hips forwards and backwards. And release onto your belly. Keep your left forearm where it is, so your elbow is bent at 90 degrees and your hand is planted just outside the mat. And then we're gonna roll our body open to the right. So it's a big shoulder and chest opener for that left side especially. So it feels good to stay here just with knees stacked on top of each other. You can tent onto your right fingertips if you want to traction and push open more. If you're really open through the shoulders and chest, which I am not, you can also work towards coming into more of a bridge position with your kneecaps up towards the ceiling, planted on your sit bones on both sides, but I'm gonna hang out here. Release the hold on your left shoulder. Just let it melt into the stretch. Can you find compassion for and acceptance of your body and how it's created and how it is shaped specifically and how it handles these stretches. Can you feel that uniting between your body and your heart and your mind? Good. From here, lift up slightly, thread your left hand underneath your right elbow, and then just open into a twist here. So knees and hips are stacked on top of each other, chest rolls open, gaze falls to the right. I like to keep a cactus arm bend in my right side. But again, find what works for you. Start to roll back onto your stomach. Place your right elbow on the outside of the mat, bent at 90 degrees. And then roll onto your right hip. Stack your left knee on top of your right. And open through that right chest. You can tent up onto your left fingertips to push open more. You can also bring your legs up higher, or you can stay right where you are. Release any last bit of hold that you're keeping on your body. drip and fill up as much space as possible. Gently push through your left hand, lift slightly, thread your right arm underneath your left elbow, and open up into a spinal twist. So legs stay stacked on top of each other. Cactus your left arm out to the side. See if you can twist from above your belly button. Don't be super strict about it, but try to find not just opening through your mid and low spine, but also through the upper section as well. Instead of rolling back on our stomachs, just lay onto your back. Come into Supta Baddha Konasana. So soles of the feet touch in the center and knees splay out wide. And I want you to bring your arms into cactus shape again. So on an inhale, feel as if your heart could expand more, become bigger, find more space to fill and love others. Make it as big as possible, and then on an exhale, feel as if it becomes more gentle, more compassionate, empathetic. And this includes for people who you may not feel love for right now. So maybe call to mind someone who makes you tense up, who makes you feel bitter, resentful, angry. And this is not a small task or feat. It's not something that's gonna be solved in a 2-minute yoga posture. See if you can unwrap just one layer of your feelings towards that person. Find one muscle in your body relax, just one, when you think about them. Final pose, we're going to move into fish. So bring your knees back together. Send your legs out long and straight. And then gather your elbows underneath your shoulder blades. I like to sit on my fingers. If you're able, you can roll onto the top of your head. Really expand your heart. If this version of fish feels too active for you, let's grab a block instead. Actually, let's grab 2 blocks if you have them. So the first one will be on medium height, just in your mid-back area. So the top of it should be kind of at the lower part of your shoulder blades. And then the other block can act as a pillow. So rest the back of your head there. And if that feels too intense, you can go ahead and lower onto the lowest height of that bottom block. Just find something that lets you rest in an open heart position. Not one that feels too forced. The shoulders drip and drop heavy on the outside of the block. Repeat our mantra one final time. I love, accept, and forgive myself and others. As much time as you can or need in this supported fish pose. Otherwise, start to wiggle out of it in whatever way is comfortable for you. I kind of just like to push through my elbows and lift up. And we'll come to sit at the top of our mats. Cross your legs, place your hands on your knees. One big final inhale together. And one big exhale. Collect your hands in a prayer position at heart center. Namaste. Thank you guys for joining for this heart-centered, restorative, gentle, slightly yin yoga practice. I hope it felt really good. It's kind of a nice way to end your day or to gently start your day. And just set some intentions to love others a little bit better this week. So thank you for joining along, and I look forward to seeing you next time.